And we back. We got some more NBA for y'all. I'm Diddy Noseball. I'm here with Chris. We got NBA Cup Year 2. We got Jared McCain, Rookie of the Year. Rockets winning streak, Mavs struggling in crunch time, and we're going to be covering just random NBA topics. Don't mind me, man. My hair is nappy, so yeah. Chris, what's good with you, man?
Good fam. See, man, I'm about due for a haircut soon too, so I feel you, man.
So we'll just get into some NBA headlines. We kind of went over them before we started.
hmm
What sticks out to you?
Man, so you was talking about. I guess we start with inside the NBA going to ESPN and
Hmm.
how you think that because NBA viewership low key been struggling. Do you think this kind of thing helps with
They
anything,
go
or you
water
think
it
that it's just like,
down.
yeah,
I
oh,
think
okay,
ESPN itself is gonna water it down because they through Disney. Come on,
hmm
man. Shaq and Chuck cussing, talking about like liquor is just like I think it's gonna be random stuff that
yeah,
it will be affected. Um Now, do I think it was a good move for ESPN? Yes. But do I think
yeah,
it was a good move for inside the NBA? Possibly not. I think they probably could have took that to Peacock or something. Because I think
hmm
NBC has been doing a good job because they just
yeah,
hired Jalen Rose. But how you
yeah.
feeling about it?
I think it's cool. I guess. I mean, you know, it kind of to me shows that ESPN don't have any real talent of their own to be able to carry an NBA pregame show and stuff like that because they don't have anything, you know, NBA countdown before the games. It's not really all that. They got perk. They got like to me, ESPN felt really must have felt like they needed to get some more on air talent to cover the NBA, and that's the thing. They don't
Chris,
ever really focus on that.
they had Jay Billis. I love Jay Billis. I love his coverage of the draft. I love his coverage of college basketball. But he was calling the NBA game last week. I don't want Jay Billis covering no NBA game. I'm sorry. Like, no offense to Jay Billis, because you got to
Yeah.
think about it. They lost JJ Redick. They lost
Mm-hmm.
Doc Rivers. They
Mm-hmm.
fired Van Gundy like idiots. They
Mm-hmm.
fired Mark Jackson like idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Jones is doing the second tier college football games for some reason.
Yeah. I don't really see their game plan, what their goal is, and that doesn't help as far as covering the NBA. They're just focusing on just hot takes, hype, or whatever they doing over there, but it's not really like about basketball.
Yeah. It just, do you think they go kind of shift how inside the NBA is done, or do you think they just go let them cook?
If they wanted to be successful, they need to just let them cook, and just hands off. All we doing is putting you on our network, but we not changing nothing. If that's how they want to make it work, if they want to be successful, and if they get in there trying to, cook, put too many hands in the kitchen, then it's not going to be a successful move.
Man, I want to hear cussing. I want to hear cussing out the gate. First episode inside the NBA on ESPN. I want to hear three cuss words. I want to see a couple
Mm-hmm.
cigars. I want to see some liquor. Give me signs. This is going to be the real inside the NBA. Because if they
Yeah.
change it, then it's like, yeah, I think it's a possibility of this going really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I just do. Let me look at some of the aspects of the deal because I'm reading the article right now.
Yeah.
Um,
I saw like they traded away some like Big 12 or Big 10, one of them games to TNT, and so they get like basketball and football games for there. Like Shaq still needs to get a deal done. So
because I'm reading kind of what, as soon as you said that, I read some of that. As part of the agreement, TNT Sports will also begin showing 13 Big 12 football and
hmm
15 men's basketball games next season as part of the sub license with ESPN. TNT will air two college football playoff games beginning this season, also under a sub license with ESPN.
mm,
Okay, because they
yeah.
go continue NBA countdown and NBA today.
hmm
I haven't watched NBA today in like 2 years. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't watch NBA today that much anymore. It's just like I don't know. It's not the same, and definitely in the off season, there's no real point in watching it.
Who's on NBA Countdown? Is that Stephen A. and
That's Stephen
Perk?
A. Perk. It was Bob
Bob Myers? They
yeah,
do got the
Bob
word.
Myers. Yeah, that crew.
Mister Never Say Anything Controversial. Like I don't yeah, I didn't like that form of NBA countdown. I don't
Mhm.
like NBA today. Yeah, ESPN basketball coverage NBA wise is terrible.
No, it hasn't been the best at all, and they
It,
lost a lot of talent in general. A lot of talent from ESPN just going out the door doing their own things, and they just let go. And Zach Lowe and everything. So it didn't seem like basketball is their priority as far as keeping talent, like good people who know basketball talent wise.
bro, I can tell ESPN don't care about their NBA coverage. Look at the games they booking. They literally giving us Lakers, Warriors 4 times, Lakers, Suns 3 times. Like it's like they really phoning it in. But maybe
Mhm.
this is a good thing. I'm gonna give it a shot because, like you said,
Yeah,
they've been lacking. They've been lacking. We'll give it a try. But if they
yeah,
not cussing in the first minute or two, I don't know. I hope that they constantly keep them on ESPN. I want to keep hearing from Kenny. I want to keep hearing from Chuck because they need some more commentators too. So I
yeah,
don't know. We'll see.
yeah.
Okay, what else we got?
We can talk about this, but how you feel about the Lakers giving Pat Riley a statue? They're gonna be giving him a statue.
But he was the Showtime Lakers coach, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not mad at it,
Hmm.
but it's like uh, how you feel about it? I kind of in the middle, bro.
This feels like to me they're trying to give him his flowers now because they didn't really do it with Jerry West. And Jerry West died not really caring about the Lakers as much anymore.
Jerry West, what was Jerry West's role with the Lakers when he died? He didn't have no role with them.
You see, he was with the Clippers when he died. He had gone to all these other teams. He went from Memphis to Clippers, all that stuff. Like he became estranged from the Lakers by the end of his last days, and I feel like they felt bad about that, and so now they trying to big
I
up
hate the Lakers.
and give their flowers to Pat Riley now.
I grew up loving the Lakers. I absolutely hate them now. I did not know that
Yeah.
about Jerry West. Uh, with the Pat Riley thing, I think about it from this perspective. He done forged
Mm-hmm.
a whole new career with the Miami Heat. Because I think he coached the Shaq team in '06, didn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
he hired Spoelstra, brought in LeBron, he did the Heatles thing. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like nobody remembers Pat Riley on the Lakers unless you old as hell or unless you just a basketball person and really know. When you
Mm-hmm.
think of Pat Riley, you think of Miami Heat.
Yeah.
So did they really need to do this? No. But now it's kind of feeling like Oprah with the statues. You get a statue, you get a statue, you get a Pat Riley statue in LA is cool, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
they just doing stuff. Lakers just doing stuff, bro. They literally just doing stuff.
Yeah.
What else?
Should we ready getting this Lamelo?
Bruh, Lamelo, he said so basically he only got in trouble for saying no homo, right? That was basically it.
Yeah. That's basically it. Yeah. He was like, yeah, he just said no homo. He said we gonna launch. We launched him, reloaded or whatever, and he said no homo after that.
Say, bro, they gotta stop. And they find him like 100 bands. They find him 100.
100 bands. And the crazy thing is, Nikola Jokic, he did this earlier, a few years ago, only got 25,000. Now
Jokic.
Jokic did the same thing, no homo, 25,000. Now, yeah, Lamelo did the same thing, 100,000.
I think they kind of got something out for Lamelo. The NBA, I don't think the NBA really likes Lamelo, bro. And I've been noticing that because I remember when he had the
Mm,
tattoo, they made him cover it up for
cover
like that
it,
long
yeah.
stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they don't like him because when he does his interview, he do speak a little wild.
Yeah,
I think it comes to like the NBA side of it, but it's just like, bro, it's Lamelo, man. Like the NBA got to understand who's more popular than Lamelo outside of the main superstars like the Currys, the LeBron. I don't think nobody just in terms of just
dude,
popularity.
Lamelo is like a leader in jersey sales every year.
The NBA is stupid, bro. They gonna
It's
make him
like,
not. Mhm.
yeah, I don't know if they're just trying to like, force him to be a certain way to be there so he can be like, a face of the league or face of the franchise of the Hornets or whatever. But I mean, a lot of Ant really don't got that much of a filter either. He's not, PR savvy himself, and he's clearly going to be a face of the league in the future. So I, I understand to an extent, but they are doing too much in my opinion too.
I just think they pick on him, bro. Anytime
Mm-hmm.
he do something, I don't know. I don't know, bro. If I was the NBA, I low key will probably just not give him a live mic, delay his mic, and blur out some stuff. But at the same time, everybody loves Lamelo. Unless you just a real hater, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
I know anybody that doesn't like Lamelo Ball. I think Ray don't like Lamelo, but he's a real hater. So it's like I don't know anybody that doesn't like Lamelo, and I think he's literally a top 10 most popular player for sure. I would
Yeah,
say like top 5, but top 10 for sure. I think
top
that's
10 for sure.
crazy.
Yeah.
Saying no, and then the no homo was unnecessary because I watched the game live, I watched the post game live, and when he said
Yeah.
it perked my ear. I didn't think it was gonna
Uh
be a
huh.
thing, but it perked my
Yeah.
ears, and it was unnecessary too. Like that
He
wasn't
didn't have
even
no.
talking on.
He
I
didn't
didn't
have to
get it.
say it. Yeah, yeah. He didn't really have to say it. He could have said pause, and then I'm sure he would have even been fine or whatever. But
NBA, quit picking on Lamelo, man. Let the boy live, man. He got a ticket, man. Missed the fourth quarter, bro.
dude, he's for real. He the real deal. He's exciting player on the court to watch. He's a fun play style to watch, and then he's different. He's his own person off the court too. So you're gonna have to. Sometimes you're gonna deal with some of this stuff like this. It's gonna happen.
You think Lamelo's on pace to make an All NBA team right now?
I don't see why not right now. I mean, if all NBA teams, depending, some people like to factor in wins or not, but I mean, what he's doing for the Hornets right now, he's doing a lot,
Okay, let me
and he's
rephrase
coming
it.
through clutch. Yeah.
You think he could make it from the play in? Like if they stay in the play in, probably even possibly like from an eight or nine at the least. Let's say they get an 8 or 9 slot. Do
Hmm.
you think he can make an All NBA team?
That just means he's what I mean. Technically, all NBA is positionless too, so all he has to be is a top 15 player, which I think he is right now. He's playing at a top 15 player level. If you even want to just do like half guards, is he not playing as a top 6 guard?
Man, he's tied for third in points. Uh, yeah, yeah. Number 2 and 3 pointers made. Leader in fourth quarter points.
Hmm.
Uh, man, yeah, he all NBA level, man. We just had to talk through it a little bit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Leave Lamelo alone. NBA stupid, bro. Leave Lamelo. The NBA annoys me, bro.
Hey man, David Stern probably would have came down a little harder, but they got him hard too. 100 bands is crazy.
100,000 is crazy. For saying no, huh? That's regular talk, bro. Like I
Yeah.
hate it, and it's crazy because he did not need to see it.
Mm-mm.
But what else we got news wise? I'm trying to think.
Uh, I just would say Harden. He did break the 3-point record, or not three. He's second. He beat Ray Allen. He's second all time. I seen some Rocket fans talking about why didn't they stop the game for Harden? Why didn't nobody feels like nobody's talking about this? When Steph broke it, he broke number one. He became sole possession number one. That's a
I,
little different.
I was just gonna say, bro, we don't praise second place like that, bro.
No, like
But cool, I guess. This is the epitome of James Harden. He doesn't win
hmm
anything. He's not like still. He's not top of this. Like, okay, you're second. Cool, James Harden.
You think Harden's gonna be like when his career's done, are we gonna be like, man, we didn't appreciate him enough in the moment? Or is it like, no, we appreciate him properly, he just didn't win enough? Or like, what do you think his legacy, what do you think it's gonna be like after Harden's all said and done as a talent and player?
I guarantee that when Harden is retired, He's going to do something weird, or something weird is going to come out or retired, that we're not even going to think about this basketball game. I guarantee it. We're
That's
finna, like, the
crazy.
older generation, the generation that didn't get to see Harden, they're going to know Harden for something he does in the future that's off the court. I 100% guarantee it.
That's
He's kind of trending
crazy.
in that type of direction. He's hanging with Lil Baby, doing weird stuff with Travis Scott. I see him getting in some kind of trouble or doing something weird in the future off the court to where he
Hmm.
becomes known for that. Because on the court, great. And people that seen him, we're gonna talk about him
Hmm.
kind of like how we talk about T Mac and guys like that, Allen
Really?
Iverson, guys like that. Right? You had to be there.
You don't
But
think, but you don't think that's a little low for him as far as what he does offensively and the player he is?
I mean, literally Luka is taking his place in that play style. He's
Mm.
literally already getting passed up for his play style because people are already comparing Luka to Harden, and Luka is pushing Harden out because Luka is Harden, but he actually can close the game. Luka is
Hmm.
literally Harden. Poor effort defensively, great scorer, dominates the ball. People kind of probably don't love playing with him.
Hmm.
He's literally a better version of Harden, playing while Harden is playing. He's been further than Harden as the guy. Has a better trajectory basketball wise, same play style. I think Harden just will get lost in the sauce. No offense. I'm sorry. I'm
Dang.
sorry. What do you think?
See, I think it is different for me with James Harden because I do agree. He's shown that he's not necessarily the most winning player because he's had playoff struggles, but also there was, times where he did, take the Rockets to the conference finals. And he pushed the KD Warriors to the brink at times. In a time where a lot of the league was just saying like, man, we just gonna tank and we just gonna punt these few years until KD off the Warriors and stuff. Like, was not even worth competing. And he got the Rockets too there. But at the same time, him forcing his way out of Houston the way he did, him forcing the way out of, Brooklyn, and then again with Philadelphia, like, that kind of taints him too in a way where like he doing all this and he didn't do any winning, real winning with those teams he's forcing his way out of, especially the Sixers. There's no reason for them to not have got further than what they did, in my
And that's
opinion.
all I'm saying.
So
And he gonna
that's why,
lie.
yeah.
He was close to redeeming himself with the Sixers, but
Hmm.
then again, he became Harden again, and it's just like James Harden is damn near a what if player, and he played. Like it's just like
Hmm.
I don't know, bro. I just can't get there with James Harden, bro. I have a certain level of disdain for James Harden and Russell Westbrook. All talented, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all
Like
good.
they are the MVPs that you can't win with. How many
Hmm.
MVPs can you count and just be like, I couldn't win a championship with them guys? Like even Steve Nash, probably Steve Nash, you put Steve Nash right there, but it's like people people dog Steve Nash and his MVP. So it's
Oh
like
yeah.
they like in that category. James Harden is just one of those guys. It's like nobody would ever pick him and be like, I want it to start my team with James Harden as an old
Yeah.
school player. He's gonna be one of them guys. I wouldn't choose him.
Yeah.
Okay.
His stats might look crazy, but yeah, if you really look into it and you were there, you were watching it real time, you know. I mean, there's reason why he's not going to be held in those conversations with certain players.
He was cool. That's what we gonna say. He was cool.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it on that. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So the Cavs are still undefeated. They play the Celtics tomorrow, NBA Cup. I think this is the only good game on tomorrow, the only good cup game. And this is the only good national TV game tomorrow. Because I think after that, we get on TNT is Cavs and Celtics. And then I think we get Thunder and Spurs. So
Hmm.
yeah. So this is gonna be the only game we're tuning into tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um, the Celtics are actually favored. I think they favored by like 3.5. What is your overall thoughts on the Celtics being favored?
I mean, the Celtics haven't. They've been okay. I mean, they haven't looked as dominant as they were last year for sure. They've been looking shaky. Uh, they just went toe to toe with the Raptors and needed Jason Tatum to travel and hit a game winner for them to win after hitting the side of the backboard. So I mean, congrats to them, I guess. Like, I, I don't think we should be overlooking the Cavs. Like, they've won 15 games straight. They just won
Yeah.
one. I know it was against the Hornets. But the Hornets have had some good wins without Donovan Mitchell. So I think the Cavs should be respected a little bit more than just saying like, oh, the Celtics should beat them regardless. Like, it should be a good game. And of course, this will be a test. If they get blown out, if the Cavs get blown out, then yeah, people maybe time to roll it back and just say whatever about them. But I think at least for now they should be taken a little serious. I think they can beat this Celtics team like we talked about earlier. They have all the tools to be able to contend and beat them. So
Because actually, the Celtics are favored by 4.5, which is crazy. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me see where they're playing. Oh, they're in Boston. So
they're
okay,
in Boston. So yeah,
but still 4.5 seems like a bit much for a team that hasn't lost a game. And
mm-hmm.
I was looking at some power rankings earlier on the NBA site, and I think they had Cavs, Warriors, um, Celtics, Oklahoma City, and Houston. I don't know exactly the
Houston.
order. Let me get the exact order.
Mm-hmm.
But I just was like, they abs bro. What the Cavaliers did to the Warriors just made me be like, bro, they was up 40 at halftime. It was up 40 at halftime, and the Warriors have pretty much beat everyone. They're a top team. I think the Warriors do literally. I think they done beat everybody. I think they done beat the Celtics. I think they done beat the Warriors. I think they beat the Rockets. Warriors are a pretty damn good team.
Yeah.
Cavaliers made them look like nothing. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the difference is this time around, the size, the impact of Evan Mobley, the impact of Jared Allen, and then I can match your wings with my guards in terms of
Mm-hmm.
scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is a natural, better matchup for the Cavs with the emergence of Evan Mobley. Just me personally.
Yes.
And I think Donovan Mitchell could have if Donovan Mitchell go off, watch everybody. Oh, we gotta put him at the forefront of the MVP conversation because Donovan Mitchell was getting like 24 points a game. He ain't really gone off. He did go off against the Bulls. He had a couple games where he's been going off, getting 30, 40
Mm-hmm.
here and there. So he's coming along. But if he has a statement game against the Celtics, and if they win by like
Yeah.
6 or more, it's gonna get rolling. And
Mm-hmm.
I can say the same thing with Tatum. So I think this is one of the first key MVP matchup
Yeah.
games they
Yeah.
play.
I agree with that. Like, you have these MVP matchup games, these key moments to writing your MVP story. Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum both have a chance to write that first chapter towards their first MVP. And it starts with this game in the NBA Cup setting, which is already more intense game pressure, whatever type of game. So it should be a good game. It's yeah, that's why it's on national TV. So I think it will tell a lot about these two teams going forward. Are the Celtics just the runaway favorites for the East? Can the Cavs actually contend with them? Like, that's what we'll see. Are the Cavs legit? Are the Cavs for real? Like, that's what we'll be able to walk away and take from this game, at least this first matchup.
This is what I hope we don't see, Chris. Oh, if the Cavs do win, oh, they didn't have Porzingis. It's gonna look different when Porzingis is here. I think that's gonna be the only like talking point that's gonna ruin
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
because Porzingis is key in this particular type of a matchup because the Cavs do have more bigs, but I just ain't gonna want to hear it because I just feel like when you got Tatum, you got Jaylen Brown, those is two all NBA guys, and then you still got Derek White, who's probably the best third option in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Holiday's probably the best fourth option in the NBA. Uh, it's gonna be that guard matchup. Like if the Cavaliers guards can come out and do what they're supposed to do, if Mobley can come out and do what they're supposed to do, and if they win, bro, I'm just gonna give it to the Cavs. They're the best team in the league as of
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah.
prediction: who you got?
I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna say the Cavs gonna continue that win streak.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I think the Cavs finna come out and with something to prove. And if it's
Yeah.
the opposite, and if it's the Celtics, then I'm literally going to say the winner of this game is going to be my best team in the league going until proven otherwise team.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I
I
got the
think
Cavs.
yeah, I
Go ahead.
agree with you on that. No, I was just saying, yeah, I agree with you on that. So
Say, bro. I can't wait to start my Donovan Mitchell agenda, bro. That's why I really ain't spoken on MVP because
mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis kind of low key been the guy. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm just
Oh
looking for somebody else to
man.
give it to. I'm looking for somebody else to give it to.
Man,
And
you give
15
AD
games in
his
is a good time to
props.
start talking about MVP. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of NBA Cup,
Mm-hmm.
say, bro, I'm sorry, forgive my language. This shit is stupid, bro. I
You ain't
literally,
feeling it?
bro, it's confusing. Before you popped in, I was reading, I literally typed in NBA Cup explained, and I was reading like, I do not get this. And it's
Mm-hmm.
doing it every Tuesday, doing it every Friday. It go from regular games to cup games
Mm-hmm.
to this is just group B. And it's like, bro, like what is we doing here? The first year was automatically interesting. It's year
Yeah.
two now. And I don't even think I watched too many cup games. I think like we talked about the Cavs and the Celtics. This could be my first cup game I'm actually watching live. I went back and watched some, but
Yeah.
yeah. How you feel about the cup year two?
See, my thing is with the cup, the Lakers won it last year, right?
Yeah.
And they won it, and then nobody really cared after that for a while. Like they won, it was cool. After they won, nobody really cared. It was like back to the regular season. Who's gonna win the finals? How are people gonna look in the playoffs? But nobody really cared about the
But did
NBA
we
Cup
not care
after
because
that.
it was the Lakers? Because we love to hate LeBron. I low key want to downplay it because it was LeBron and the Lakers. But do you think like let's say because right now I think the Magic are 3-0. If the Magic win the NBA Cup or like another young, let's say the Rockets win the NBA Cup, does that make it different?
I think that does make it a little different. Yes, if a young team that's up and coming, that you want to see them prove something in a playoff setting, this gives them a chance to feel it what it's like in the playoffs. Yes, this is kind of something where you're like, oh, okay, you can kind of put some stock into that going into the playoffs. Like if the young Magic team won the NBA Cup, you'd be like, all right, I might pick them over some teams because now they've proven they can do something in more high pressure situation by winning the NBA Cup. So I may put a little more stock into them, a young team, because of that. Man, I would have bet all the money in the world that LeBron was going to go out and try to win that first ever NBA Cup last year before the season. I would have been rich. I just didn't do
You
it.
said it. You
Yeah.
said it. You talked about it, and everything you said made sense because we just know how LeBron is for his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't surprised about it, but I think since it was them, and instead of it wasn't the Pacers, who was an upcoming team, upcoming
Mm-hmm.
young star, and we could be like, okay, the team that win the NBA Cup, then they made a conference finals. Like we
Mm-hmm.
could be like, okay, the NBA Cups matters for your development as a young team.
Yes. Yes.
you know. So I just think it was the Lakers thing. I think, and then I think the group play. I think the group play is just kind of stupid. I don't like it. Like it's random teams. Like none of the teams really matter in terms of how they just put the five teams together. Do you like the format of it? Because I just don't like the group thing.
It's kind of like I think it's like based on like how you kind of did last year or something, but it's
It
also
is.
like a little bit of lottery or whatever. It's like it's it don't really matter. It's really hard to keep track of who's like no one's looking and keeping track. Oh, I know who's in my NBA Cup group this year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not all that big of
Facts.
a deal. If they want to do something with that, why don't you make divisions mean something a little more again? Why don't you do that?
Because I had my thoughts on doing it division. I want to hear your thoughts on doing it like by division. Like, would you do it just like how it is? Because I don't. I feel like in the NBA, divisions doesn't matter. I've been watching a lot of NFL, and division is everything. It's like
Mm-hmm.
because yesterday we had Bills and we had the Chiefs. We had
Mm-hmm.
Ravens and Steelers. I literally
Mm-hmm.
was watching NFL football from 12 to whenever the hell the Chargers game went off.
Yeah.
Just because it's like divisional matchups that I know matter. So, do you
Yeah.
think they should do the cup?
I do think. See, that's me personally. I do think that why don't we make divisions matter again and do it like that? I don't see how. Like, this is cool. I guess you want to make sure that everybody has a chance to make it into the NBA Cup playoffs or whatever. But like, only 14 from each Eastern and Western Conference are going, I believe. So does it even matter that much? Like, why don't you just do it by division? And if teams aren't good enough to consistently get into the NBA Cup playoffs, maybe that's a goal they need to work towards throughout the season.
Yeah.
So if you can't even win and be competitive within your own division, maybe that's something your team needs to focus on. I guess some divisions may be harder than the others, but like I think it's important. Like at the end of the day, divisions don't really mean nothing until the very end of the season. We're like, oh, they may have a couple more division wins, so they may be a little bit higher in the standings. Like, bro, it don't make
NBA
it mean
divisions is
something.
terrible.
Yeah, yeah,
Chris, think about it. NBA Cup group play is all the LA teams, and they're all pretty damn good this year. Like, well, Clippers kind of sorry, but like for the most part, the California
mm-hmm.
teams. I think that's the NBA Pacific Division. We don't even we know all the divisions in NFL damn near by heart. NBA we don't know it all except for
Bro,
all the
we don't.
California
It
teams.
don't matter anymore. Yeah, it don't matter. Like at least before, you could be a top 4 seed by just winning your division. That don't matter anymore.
I think we need to. Okay. I'm gonna after the NBA Cup talk. I kind of want to get into my division spiel and making that matter again in the NBA.
Yeah.
But for the NBA Cup, do you also think? Because I like the division idea.
Mm-hmm.
What if they also did like a certain block of the season to where it's like we're doing it for 2 weeks straight. Like we're not
Mm-hmm.
doing anything else. We're not going from NBA Cup game to regular season to NBA. Just 2 weeks, these first 2 weeks, and do it at the beginning of the season. Of a 2 week tournament at the very beginning of the season. Every game matters, and you have the championship at the beginning of the season. Like, you know what I'm saying? You like
Yeah, I
that?
get what you're saying. I kind of like that. I say yeah in the like beginning half of the season, almost make it like I don't know if Christmas is too late, but Christmas be the ultimate game or whatever. Maybe that may be too far into the season, but I say yeah, like that first window of the season for sure. Let them get a few regular season games to warm up and get their teams figured out, and then yeah, I like the having the block instead of just like okay, oh we need to get up for this game on a random Tuesday, and then we can go back and chill, whatever. And oh, it's Friday, so let's turn up for the NBA. Nah, make all the games important. Keep the interest on the NBA Cup and what's going on. Yeah, make it a big deal throughout that whole period.
But what?
NCAA has March Madness. All March, you caring about watching college
Yeah,
basketball because every game matters.
I see. Man, let's just make this a NBA idea segment because
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, bro. Because you said like, hey, you want them to warm up. How about we have more than just one tournament? Because I was thinking about this because we hardly ever get to see the matchups we want to see. Like we get Giannis versus Jokic, and it's like we
Mm-hmm.
hardly ever get that. We hardly ever get Jokic versus Embiid. Like these teams, West and East, play twice.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kind of start focusing on that. I was thinking about this. Let's have another tournament. Like
Mm.
the NBA season doesn't really matter. Let's just make more. Let's put like more tournaments into the NBA season. This tournament. Let's have the eighth seed that was just in last year's eighth seed in the West versus the eighth seed in the East. Let's do a
Mm-hmm.
tournament like that to where it's
Mm.
like a East versus West because you know how you had a Big 12 versus SEC challenge. Let's
Yeah.
have the East versus West challenge. Like
Okay.
I don't know. Could you help me with that idea? Because you kind of get where I'm going with that.
I get what you're going. I actually that's not a bad idea. You have it's still the regular. It's still like built within their schedule. You can still play these teams naturally without having to mess up. Oh, they get an extra game for this, whatever. Like, you know, 8 versus 8 matchups across the board, and at the end of the season, whoever has the most wins throughout, like it could be even a one and done tournament. That would be real cool. But regardless, like all the 8 seeds go up against each other. Winners move on to the next to like the 7 seeds or whatever. Like that'd be cool. Regardless. Uh, and then at the end of the day, like it just, I think the NBA. I agree with your point saying that like at first I was a little tuned off to like having another tournament, but you have a point where making more of the regular season games matter, more of making basketball fans want to tune into the regular season
Yes,
because
yes.
I don't have to watch every single regular season game if I'm a casual.
Facts.
If I'm not talking about it, I can pick up in February after the trade deadline and ride through there a little bit and then figure out who's going to win the championship or who's going to be the real teams or whatever. So why don't we make more games competitive? Why don't we give more incentives for guys to play and stuff like that? So I agree with that.
Because maybe not a tournament, but just like
Mm.
challenges. Like, okay,
Yeah.
let's just have a this division versus that division. Let
And okay, I get you. And you do that, right? And it has some implications on, well, maybe not for the finals, but I was gonna say like baseball has like the All Star game impacts who has the lead. I don't know if I want to do that because that
yeah, maybe
would,
not
yeah.
that, but it really don't even have to have no incentive. But
Hmm.
just because we're gonna play twice, but let's just kind
Yeah.
of be keeping track of it. Like, let's say
Yeah.
we have a Pacific Division versus Atlantic Division challenge. And then we
Hmm.
at the end we like the Pacific Division won the challenge. They won 3 games to 2 or whatever. Let's just do stuff and highlight
Yeah.
what we're doing. Like
Yeah.
a playoff, the playoff challenge where the 8 seed goes against the 8 seed, 7 seed goes against 7 seed,
Hmm.
the West versus East challenge. And it's just like you
Yeah.
just keeping up with it because nobody really cares about the Big East SEC challenge, but it's just
Hmm.
like, oh, the Big East is better than the SEC. And then I
Yeah.
also last this is the last idea. We just spitballing because the NBA kind of
Nah. Yeah.
sucks right now. Let's just keep it up. I was thinking about this. Get rid of conferences in terms of the playoffs and
Mm.
only do it like if you win your division, you are in. What's the worst thing about that? Like what like how could that be bad? Division winners all get in, but then it's 1 through 16.
The thing is with that, in my opinion, though, is like, are you gonna have a division winner who kind of sucks get in automatically over some teams that were better?
Okay, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. You're right.
Because that was the problem with them getting an automatic 1 through 4 home advantage.
Okay, you're right about that. Well, why can't we just do the best 16 teams? Because right now I'm looking at the East standings and it's absolutely disgusting, bro.
No, it's
Like,
it's bad.
let me look at the standings right now. So in the East, we have only 5 teams with a over 500 record, and in the West, we have 11 teams that's 500 or better, and 9 teams over 500. You see what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah, it's like,
it's going to be a lot of good teams that don't get in the West, and it's going to be some
hmm
sorry teams that get in the East. And isn't that the same thing as the division thing?
that is the same thing on as far as division thing. Yes, conferences, whatever. Like, you don't want to get rid of all the structure, I guess. So that's why they keep East versus West and also travel or whatever. But like,
Mhm.
at the same time, you missing out on some good teams making the playoffs, and maybe that incentivizes teams to be bigger, take bigger moves, make bigger moves, and things like that. But also, like, yeah, you also rewarding guys that aren't doing that. Like, they're not going to really improve because if you're a sorry team but you're making the playoffs, you're not going to have a high draft pick.
Let me do this because let me look. These are the current division leaders right now, and let me see if you would be like, "Oh no, I hate this."
Okay.
Boston is ahead in the Atlantic Division. Cleveland is ahead in the Central Division. I'm starting off in the East.
Okay.
Orlando is the head of the Southeast Division. So those are the division winners so far. If the season stopped today in the East,
Mm-hmm.
Boston, Cleveland, and Orlando. In the
Yeah.
West, Northwest Division, OKC. Pacific is Golden State. Southwest is Houston. And now the next best records get in, regardless of division. I honestly I don't hate it because if you just keep it East versus
So
West, it's gonna be sorry teams in anyway.
it's some top 6 teams, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
okay. I'm honestly not mad with that at all. I mean, if you win your division, you're obviously winning a lot of games anyway. So I'm not mad
Especially
at
in the
that. And then
NBA.
mm-hmm. Now, if it just so happened that year a division just sucked and you got in, whatever. Like sometimes you're gonna have those years, but not right now. The way you presented that, like, nah, that's not bad at all.
Okay. We can move on. That was a fun discussion.
No, yeah,
Moral of the story: NBA Cup kind of sucks, and it could be better. But I think it will. The NBA Cup will be better once it gets to the knockout round / once it gets to Vegas. I think that'll always
of
be
course,
interesting.
yeah.
But having to block it off on Tuesdays and Fridays is always going to be weird. It's going to just be weird.
I like what they're doing as far as like trying to make it an event and trying to make it, important by having like the different courts or whatever and like all that kind of thing. Even though some of the courts be hard to look at, but I like the fact that they're at least trying to make it like, oh, it's an NBA Cup game. This one is important. But why don't we just have that for a period of time? Why
Yeah.
doesn't the? And I guess maybe because you're competing with football, and so in the fall you're trying to. But if you really want to compete with football, why don't you go hard at football rather than being like, oh, we're gonna be conservative or whatever? Like, why don't you go hard at football? Why don't you really improve your product, improve your brand, and like really lean into the NBA Cup, make it a period of time, like you were saying, and so like. Oh, it's NBA Cup time. I might want to watch the NBA Cup over a regular season NFL game. I mean, not many people may say that, but you could eventually shift people's mindset towards that.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. It just
Yeah.
improving the product. That's an 82 game product.
Yeah.
Gotta do something. Okay. I wanted to talk about this. Jared McCain, potential rookie of the year. We know Philly in their season is kind of in shambles. I think where is Philly ranked right now? I think Philly is Philly's pretty. Let me
Philly's
make sure.
down there. They're
They're
14th,
second to last. Yes.
second to last, 210. It's crazy. They only got to win, go on a 3-game winning streak, and they're in the play-in.
And they up right now. That's crazy. And they up right now against the Heat. It's 56 to 53 at halftime. We shooting this Monday, November 18th. So they're currently up right now. Jared McCain is going off. He got 12 points a half. Paul George is seeming to be all right. He's doing all right. Embiid is doing all right. But Jared McCain is still hooping. So Jared McCain, just knowing that he's been going off lately, I think he done had 20 for like 5 straight games, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make
Yeah.
sure. Let me make sure. Uh, it's been 4 straight games with 20 or more. And then he had a 34-point game against Cleveland. So just what are you thinking about when it comes to Jared McCain and just knowing where the 76ers are right now?
Dude, I knew I had a good feeling once Jared McCain got his stuff together and then, he got his feet wet and he's ready to go. He's going to be a good impact player for the Sixers. They basically, not basically, but they drafted another Maxey, a guy who can come in, score the basketball, move the ball, get to the basket, and be a good guard for them. And I like the pick when they made it. And so I knew I was adding that into one of their pieces, their key additions. So I think them having him, they can pair him with Maxey. They can have him as a nice player off the bench to give them consistent offense. I think it really helps them, but they have to be healthy. That's their main problem. They have to be healthy. They have to get chemistry together, and they have to start winning some games.
Do you think because it's interesting you say they got another Maxey. I honestly was thinking about it opposite. I was thinking of him like a Desmond Bain type of guy to
Okay.
Tyrese Maxey's Ja Morant. Because one thing people kind of misconstrue with Jared McCain, he's not a little guard, bro. Like he's flimsy off the court with all these little antics, But on the court, he's a bigger guard, bro. He's kind of big. Like his arms are kind of long. He's kind of stocky.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he can guard twos once he learns how to play NBA level defense. And Tyrese Maxey is huge in terms of being a guard. So that's not a small backcourt, even though they're short, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I don't think it'll necessarily be problems that they can play together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for what Tyrese Maxey does well, and the crazy thing is Tyrese Maxey not only like John Morant can get to the basket and be electric getting to the rim, he can actually shoot too. And Jared
Yeah.
McCain, like Desmond Bain, he can shoot, drive a little bit, play make a little bit, and he can actually physically keep up with twos and ones if need be. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this has been a blessing in disguise. He's my rookie of the year favorite right now. I I,
Yeah.
I honestly think he's gonna run away with it, to be honest, because even with Paul George and Joel Embiid, it's clear Jared McCain is here to stay, and
Mm-hmm.
he's already a top four player for them. So
Yeah.
my thing is, how do you think it'll work with these four guys now? Is he's clear a top four player for them?
Is he a top 4 player for them? He should be. Yes. You may want to pay your respects, I guess, to Kelly Oubre or Martin or whatever, but I mean, you really probably just rolling with Jared McCain at this point as your fourth option because he can put the ball in the basket more consistently and do more things for you in that way. Um, as far as pairing up with them, so you now have a guard on the court at all times, basically that can is a threat to score, and you also have someone who can also feed the ball to Embiid at all times. I mean, you have that with Paul George, and then you also have that dynamic wing score with Paul George. It's someone who can play off the ball as well with Paul George if he wants to do all the ball handling, and you can be an off guard shooting threat. So that's in my respects to them having that as a pair is really nice for them. And then, like you said, those guys can defend. They have the tools to be good defenders as well. So when you have that in your backcourt, and then when you have the offensive firepower of a Paul George and Joel Embiid, you pair that with a nice backcourt duo. You have a lot of good pieces in place.
Do you think Paul George and Joel Embiid? Because I'm not gonna lie, Paul George kind of seems like he's gonna get in the way now, and Joel Embiid kind of seems like I just don't know what to do with him. Paul George just has not been having a good season. Whether he's been playing or whether he's been injured, he's just not been. He just hasn't looked good this year. I think he's probably gonna have one good game, two good games. He ain't look
Man,
good.
he didn't look good, but I'm not gonna write him off just yet. He needs time to get his feet wet and get used to being in Philadelphia and playing with Joel Embiid as well. Kind of saw that with James Harden when he first got over there. You're gonna see that for a little bit. It's a different playing with a dominant big. I don't think really Paul George has really played with a dominant big his entire career, so it's a
But
little
do
different.
you have time to figure it out? Like we said, they're 14th in the East. Do you got time for this?
You
When
do
Tyrese
because you're
Maxey
in the
get back, just
East.
put the ball in his hands, play through him and McCain. And if Embiid does something, he does. If he don't, he don't. I feel like you damn near gonna have to get out this backcourt way, bro. And it's like Paul George. It sounds crazy to say Paul George and Joel Embiid gonna have to get in where they fit in, but it's kind of like riding a hot hand. Like Maxey and McCain are young. Let them do what they do in the regular season. I can't wait to Maxey get back because I
Mm-hmm.
think that's when it'll go to another level because now you have two dynamic guards. It'll damn near be like
Yes.
Mitchell and Garland, uh, Morant and Bain. I feel like it could be that type of two-way dynamic. I think Jared McCain is real, and I just think
Yeah.
Paul George got to get in where he fit in, bro.
We got Mitchell and Garland, but then you also have Joel Embiid and Paul George. Look at that? What would that look like for Cleveland? That's crazy. So if they and on yes on paper, and if they figure everything out, it's a crazy team that can get a lot of good things, make a lot of positive things happen. I do think they need more size, um, the team in general, because if I mean Embiid is going to be out, so with Embiid being out, you
What happened to Drummond?
now Drummond will be your starter, right? But then who
Oh,
else is after him when Embiid's out? So that's where I'm saying and he's missing a lot of games in general anyway. So
I like the role, guys. I think you
I
just
do,
can't
yeah.
win without Maxey. I don't know. I really don't have no more faith in Joel Embiid being Joel Embiid and Paul George being Paul George. I think Joel Embiid is. Do you think Joel Embiid can be back to MVP form? Basically, what I'm asking. And
Mm.
how good can Paul George be? What are those two guys' ceilings? Like as good as they can be this year, can they get back to their future glory selves? That's basically the question. They ain't look good.
I don't think Embiid. I think if Embiid gets back to quote unquote MVP level, it's gonna be towards the middle of the season, towards the back half of the
Mm.
season, which may be good for them going into the playoffs. Um, Paul George, it's a matter of, you know, are they going to make Paul George be the focal point of the team because Embiid is struggling, or are they going to and say, Paul George, we may need you to carry a little bit more, or are they going to focus on getting Joel Embiid up to speed and letting Paul George figure out how to play off of that?
Chris, I think Paul George needs to take a step back. Like right now. He's stinking it up right now. He's 4 for 11 right now, 1 for 6 from 3. And he's already took more shots than Jared McCain and Joel Embiid. I think that is going to be the problem. When Maxey comes back, I want him taking the most of the shots. I want Jared McCain possibly taking the third most shots. If Embiid is right, he gets the second most shots. And then Jared
Wow.
McCain gets third most shots. Maybe Paul George, you gonna have to probably play 4. You probably thought you came here to play 3, but the emergence of McCain, maybe you gotta play 4. And you're shooting like a 4. He damn near looking like Tobias Harris.
Man, I ain't finna tell Paul George to chill out over a rookie right now.
Man, if this rookie, he's Jared McCain right now, 6 for 10 from the field, 3 for 6 from threes, 15 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds.
Hey, man. Yeah,
And
I
he's
knew
been
Jared
doing
McCain was
it.
gonna be a good player. I didn't know how consistently and how long it would take for him to be consistent with it. But
He
yeah,
was
I
Duke's
guess
best
with
player last year. And they made
yeah,
it to
I
an
mean
Elite Eight.
yeah,
Like he's proven that no matter where he's at, when he comes in, he's going to be really good at basketball, and not just basketball, it's winning basketball. Like at Centennial, he's on a winning team in
hmm
high school. He went to Duke, was a number one guy eventually, and it was like reluctantly he became Duke's number one guy, and they made it to an Elite Eight. Now he's doing it in the NBA. We thought he was going to be good, but now he's proven he's good, and he's going to keep it on. I don't think it's no shame in Paul George. Like, man, let's let the young boys hoop. Like, you all on your podcast, you got other stuff going anyway. You got your money. You came to win. If you taking a step back even further, because you already came to take a step back. He literally came to be a 3, but maybe you're a 4. But that gives us an even better chance. If
hmm
McCain emerging as a 3 might be a good thing. Because Paul George ain't it. I'm just saying.
mm.
I might sound
you,
crazy for seeing Paul George lose his option
you,
status to a rookie, but Jeremy McCain been cooking, bro.
yeah. We will see how this holds up over the season. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
blame you for saying that right now because he's been playing well. But you think he's a lock for rookie of the year?
I don't even think nobody. I can't even think of nobody else. Like I don't think Dalton Connect's go get the minutes. He did get some minutes the other day. I
He,
think he had like 27.
he
Uh,
started.
so if he gets the minutes, is an argument. But Zach Edey's not really getting the minutes. Donovan Clingan started the other day and he looked good. But I don't know if he's going to get the minutes because you still have Aiden. And then the same thing with Dawson Connect. You still have Reeves. You still have D'Lo. You still have Gabe Vincent. Those guys. I
Man,
that Philly ain't nobody better than him. And I like Philly. I like Philly's role guys in terms of their role players. Like I like Kyle Lowry, he doesn't do too much, but he Kyle Lowry, he go make, I like Yabusele. I like KJ Martin. I like Kelly
hmm
Oubre, but
hmm
ain't none of them taking Jared McCain minutes. Like Jared McCain, I think he's been established himself. These minutes are his. This
yeah,
third to fourth option status is his. So I think he's rookie of the year. Nobody else is
I
doing
get
that.
that.
Reese Shea starting, but not
Mm.
he's all right.
No, I get that. I just think if Dalton Connect starts, he has started recently. I think he can challenge if he gets enough minutes and he produces consistently, but definitely got McCain ahead of him right now.
I
It's going
think
to take a lot.
McCain, Edie, Connect, Klingon, and Ricochet, just it's all gonna come down to minutes. They all good
Yeah.
enough. Even Reed Shepard, it all comes down to minutes. But most of these guys, unlike most rookies, aren't getting enough minutes.
That man, Alex, sorry, ain't even in your radar, huh?
Oh damn, but no, sorry, no offense, no offense, bro. He does some good stuff that I like
Oh.
sometimes, but he's not polished enough, bro. But I think we could move it on. Rockets winning streak, Chris. Okay, if I
Ooh.
told you the Rockets was third in the West right now, 10-4,
Mhm.
they done beat the Clippers twice. Now let's go through their winning streak. They are on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have been able to count that off just odds, but they've been on a 5-game winning streak. They're currently losing to the Bucks. We're gonna give them some
Mm.
grace. They down by 12 at halftime, but they done
Mm.
beat the Rockets. I mean, the Rockets have beat the Pistons, the Wizards, the Clippers twice, and the Bulls. They absolutely embarrassed the Bulls. I
Yeah.
think they're trending in the right direction, but I I don't know. What made you kind of think of the Rockets as a topic, and what are you feeling about the Rockets right now?
I said it because they were going on this winning streak, and they have some exciting young players that is fun to talk about, and then they have also the prospects of adding something to this core in general because of the amount of great young talent that they have. Tari Eason has been playing well. Amin Thompson looks amazing. Um, and then they're winning games and they're playing through their star, Shingun, who's coming on 2 triple doubles. In these past 2 games, had 2 triple doubles straight. So they're playing through their star Shingun. Their offense flows through him. Everybody else seems to fall in line, and the guys playing passionately for their coach and playing their role. I think they're a good, young up and coming team. I just think they're now the teams they've won against, you could say haven't been necessarily the strongest, but there also have been some good, there's been some good teams in there too. So
They beat the Warriors. They had that comeback game against the Warriors where I think they were down
mm-hmm,
like 20 or more, and Tyree Eason led that charge. This is one thing
mm-hmm,
I've noticed, Chris, with the Rockets. The Rockets bench is damn near better than their starters. Like, okay, let's think about their starters real quick.
mm-hmm.
They have Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith, and Sengun. Just thinking off top, I done said those 5. Where would you think they rank in terms of the best starting 5s in basketball? Like, just where do you like off the top?
In the 20s.
Yeah, they're probably like, yeah. But the thing is, Amin Thompson and Tyree Eason, the occasional Reed Shepard moments. I feel like I just never like it when it's like the best part of your team is the people coming off the bench. I just
Yeah.
don't know how I feel about it. They calling them the Terror Twins. They're literally calling
Mm-hmm,
Amin and Tyree Eason the Terror Twins. So it leads me to believe maybe they need a trade, but it's not gonna be this season. Just
mm-hmm.
because you want to see them in the playoffs, you want to see where everything shakes out. But at the same time, you can't keep all these dudes, man. Cam Whitmore is literally in the G League. Cam Whitmore would be a starter in for at least 10 teams, bro.
Oh yeah, there's
So
a lot of teams that would love to have him, but they got him playing in the G League, which is interesting.
so it's like I don't know. Because I think Jabari might be the odd man out, but then I can see a
Mm-hmm.
world where Jalen Green is the odd man out. I can see them packaging Cam Whitmore and maybe Amin Thompson and doing something. It's like they
I
have a
wouldn't
good
trade him.
problem to have. They got too many guys, but it's like, what can they be this year? I guess that's basically what I'm getting at.
See, this year they'd be like, if they do well and they go far, or they continue up their play, I think they're just like OKC from last year, where they're a good regular season team who ends up with the top 4 seed. They may win a playoff series. It's not guaranteed, like OKC was winning their first series, in my opinion. They may win their first series, but they definitely don't get past that. They don't get past. They don't get anywhere close to that. So, and then this team, that's at their best. But this team could also be a very well be a play-in team.
I was just gonna say that because it's like, are they really, really a top tier, top 5 team? Because I'm looking at the West right now, and Golden State is pretty much healthy. But okay, see, they literally don't have a center. They don't have not one center available.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Lakers are kind of relatively healthy. Phoenix literally don't have Kevin Durant or Bradley Beal, and they're fifth right now. Denver, we know what they going through. No, Aaron Gordon. Minnesota's relatively healthy. Memphis, we know Memphis don't have nobody. Um, Stat just lost DeRozan and Sabonis. Dallas has had their injury stuff, so it's like, are we like Houston's number 3, but they've been healthy pretty much all year. So it's like,
Mm,
and they're already probably the deepest team in the league, 1 through 10.
yeah,
So how much of that do you think is a factor? Because I think they're proffering for injury luck.
that is true. I mean, yeah, when some of these top Western Conference teams start getting healthy, start playing at the level they're supposed to be playing at, Houston could be the odd team out. And there's only so much you can do when you have a weaker starting lineup. There's only so much you can do based off young guys because they're talent. They're capped to a certain level. Potentially going forward, of course, they have room to grow. But in the present, they're capped. So I think if the Rockets could definitely suffer the consequences, I don't think they finish necessarily as a top 4 team. But I think they have their best case scenario is that if they can continue this consistent level of play, but we'll see. But I think their most likely option is 6 to 8 range,
Okay.
play in maybe.
So you honestly, because I heard you mention earlier that best case scenario they went around. I damn near think that's out of the realm of possibility, bro. I think there's no way
Mm.
the Houston Rockets win around. I don't like to be like this because they are on a winning streak. You know how everybody is. They're in the current
Yeah,
power ranking. 15 games in, bro. Houston Rockets not
yeah.
sustaining this. And if they do, it'll be because the injury thing.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I don't trust the starting lineup, bro. Like if the best part of your team is the bench, and then like you got 4 starters who are all inconsistent. You got 4 starters, inconsistent starters, bro. Jabari Smith, literally, if you ever bet prize picks on anybody on Houston Rockets, you will understand. They're a no bet in terms of individual players. Like Jalen Green is a no bet player. Like Jabari Smith is a no bet player. Dylan Brooks is a no bet player. Fred VanVleet
Mm.
is a no bet player. Like you don't know what you're getting 90 and 90. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I'm sorry.
Mm. No,
Looking
I
good
don't
right
blame you
now.
for. No, yeah, they look good right now. But I'm not gonna overreact to right now. I'm gonna say they look good right now, and if they keep playing like this, of course they can be great. But they have a great young core that they should focus continue developing. Um, their number one option or their best player, Alperen Şengün, where does he fall on the list of best players in the West? He's great. He's a good young big, of course, but like where does he fit in as far as the best player on the best on your team in the West?
Just the last thing on this, because when you said that, you know who I immediately thought of, because you know I already compared him to kind of like a Pau Gasol type of guy. But
Mm,
it's like if that's your best player, it's gonna be like what Pau Gasol was when he was with Memphis. We're gonna get his ass up out of here eventually because we're not getting out the first round. And
mm,
it's kind of like the Sabonis thing. Like maybe you can perennially be in the playoffs. Maybe you can be an All NBA third team, but that's first round exit. So that's another. I'm glad you said that. Sengun is the best player on the Rockets, and that should be all you need to know about where they're going in the future.
mm.
No offense to him, because you know we
Uh,
love young players, and
yeah,
we
I
always love
like
to hype young
Şengün.
players. But
Yeah, it's the thing, and it'd be different if he was paired with another good guy, but Jalen Green is shaky. He's not, so
can I just say it? Can I just say it? Jalen Green not it, bro. Like
dang.
he's an empty calorie guy. Like let him go somewhere and get stats. And
Mm.
Another thing, Dylan Brooks, I think he's gonna fill in that spot for the Patrick Beverly role, to where we go ship him around from team to team to give my young team toughness. And right when we get to the
Mhm.
playoffs, we shipping his ass to the next young team. Because I just don't want Dylan Brooks, bro. I don't trust him. He's too
Mhm.
emotional. He does too much crazy. What he was doing to James Harden, shadowing, like all that's just too much for if I'm really trying to win championships. Like it's cool when I'm trying to build my team's toughness, but once we get
Yeah.
to that point where we making a playoff, bro, stop all that shit. Get gone, man. And
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be the new Pat Bev. Did anything else on the Rockets before we move on to our last topic?
Nah, I feel you on that's I agree.
Okay, Mavs struggling in crunch time. I really the Mavericks are a hard watch this year. I ain't gonna lie. I've been talking and talking and talking. I told you about these role players. They suck. Um,
Oh no.
Luca, Luca is probably been the worst I've seen Luca since his rookie year. Um, and it's not even just because we talk about the Utah play. Everybody talks about that and how that just was terrible, and it was. But I think the biggest story here is his inefficiency. His inefficiency, like the way Luca plays, you have to be efficient, and he's not being efficient, and that's what's killing the Mavericks, not the defense. But what are your thoughts on it?
Mavericks. Specifically, the thing that we need from Luca going forward right now, he needs to hit more shots. Like you said, he needs to be more efficient. And his shot selection, especially in the end of the game, whether this be on Jason Kidd, this be on Luca, they need to have more of an offensive plan identity going into the end of the games. We cannot have Luca taking 30-foot bombs just because he wants to try to ice the game or try to win the game at the end of the game. Like we cannot have, oh, I don't know what we're gonna do. Luka, you gonna shoot? Me gonna shoot? Throw it to Kyrie. Do something the last 3 seconds. Take a random step back three. Try to win a game. Like these are things that can't really be happening when we're trying to show that we're improving from last year. We could make it back to the finals and show that last year was not a fluke. Luka has not had his best start to the season. And some of that may be due to injury. Some of that may be due he's saying, "Oh, I'm trying to learn to play off the ball a little bit more." Well, that should have been, you should have been working on that. Um, so like, but at the end of the day, Luke is not playing his best to his standard now. A lot of guys would love to be playing at this level right now, but Luke is a little different. We judge him on a higher scale. I had MVP expectations coming in to this season for Luca, and so far, I have not those have not been met. It's been more of a Kyrie. If the Mavericks get on winning, go on a winning streak, he'd probably be more of an MVP favorite this season, which is cool.
What was the game in? I know you heard about this where Kyrie was cooking, and then Luca kind of was like, "Yeah, go on, give me the ball back at crunch time, even though you've been cooking, I haven't." Like, what game was that? Because
Dude,
I remember that was
that
just
was
peak
when Kyrie was going off against Jokic, and they was having
the
a
Nuggets.
battle. The
The
Nuggets,
Nuggets.
yes. Man, Kyrie was like on 90% true shooting, had 40 points. End of the game, Luka decides he wants to take the three to win or take the three to ice or something. I can't remember which one of these games because there's been so much of this crap. What? And I'm like, dude, we should either get the ball to Kyrie and let him do something or play off of Kyrie to get you a shot. But it shouldn't run through you immediately. Now I know you can hit these shots, Luka, but dang, man, when we trying to when we trying to win a game, this is not what we need. It was against the Warriors. We up two. Luka decides it's time to take a 35-foot three to ice the game on Clay's night. Bruh, that was unnecessary. That was we could have ran our offense, got a good quality shot to go up 2 possessions. We didn't need to take up a hero three. I know he had a good game as well, but like it's certain things where I know you can hit those shots, but why don't we run some kind of offense to get a guaranteed good basket? So, and then Curry goes off and we lose the game. So in that aspect, I'm going to criticize Luka in certain aspects because he's that kind of player, but I'm not going to say he's the reason why the Mavericks are losing. He's the reason why the Mavericks suck and we can't win without him because that's not true either.
I think because I've been said it outside of probably Kevin Durant. I think Luka is probably the most talented scorer I've just seen, just in terms of just like scoring and buckets just come easy to the dude.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when his jumper is when it's not working, bro, he's the worst starter watching basketball. Like a bad Luka game, it looks god awful, man. He's shooting like 43% from the field, 32% from three. The good thing I will say, he's not turning the ball over as much. His free throw
Mm-hmm.
percentage is as high as it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he's shooting bad. Like he's never going to be a defender, but it's going to be even worse when you're shooting bad. And like you said, you love to dominate the ball, and you're shooting bad. So when somebody is shooting good, don't shoot the ball. I think he has maturity issues. I do think I do think he has maturity issues. It's okay because they're
Yeah.
understandable. I've been the best player in the world, or according to me, I'm pretty sure Luka thinks he's the best player in the world, and he's probably been feeling like that since he's been 18, 17, because he was the MVP of the Euro League. He came Rookie of the Year. He's been All NBA 3, 4 straight times. It's kind of hard not to think you the shit, basically. And like I just think we just praised him too early, and he won too much too early because he'd already been to the finals, already been to the conference finals. So
Mm-hmm.
everything he does has worked. The only thing
Yeah.
he hasn't done was win a championship, but he's literally done the second and third best thing: get to the
Yeah.
championship, get to the conference finals.
Yeah.
But he has to play a better team brand of basketball. He hangs out at the 3 point line, half court when he's off the ball. It's certain little mental maturity tweaks he has to make. It's not about the talent. It's
Mm-hmm.
the little things.
Yeah.
That's what he's not better than Tatum this year. Tatum has been better than him.
That hurts me to say it, but I can't even argue with that. Sadly, and I hate that I can't argue against that right now.
Me too. Tatum is boring and he's bland. I like Luka more. But Luka doesn't do
Yeah.
the things like when we was talking about the James Harden stuff earlier. A lot of the bad that James Harden does, Luka does. But the good about Luka is he's an actual killer. James Harden never had that killer in him. James Harden was
Mm-hmm.
never the most scariest guy in 4 quarters. But I still think down 10 seconds, the fate of the world on the line. Anybody
Mm.
playing basketball right now, I'll trust Luka. Like if they had an alien race invasion and
Mm-hmm.
we had to choose somebody to take the final shot in a 4 quarter, you know what I'm saying? Like a little 4 second, whatever. I'm picking Luka, bro. He's that much of a killer. I trust him that much. I think he's got that much cojones, but the maturity stuff has to change, bro. He's just
Yeah.
immature in certain ways.
No, I agree. Um. No, I agree. Like I thought, losing the finals, he would come in different, and he had that mindset going in the off season. He was working out. He was working hard, but I think whether it be injury, whether it be like a maturity, it's not clicking right now. But when it clicks, y'all better watch out because the Mavericks gonna be scary. Luka being efficient unlocks the Mavs offense in so
Mm.
many ways. Luka hitting shots and being efficient and being that threat and being scary unlocks the Mavericks offense in all kinds of ways. It opens up the lob to Lively and Gafford. It opens up the corner threes to PJ and Klay Thompson. It allows people to double off Kyrie and be open. Like it allows for so much to happen, and it opens up the court when Luka is hitting shots and is efficient.
Um, how did you feel about the Utah Jazz play? Because it's like, bro messed up, but it's like it happens.
I, I honestly think it happens. I think it's a little bit of overreaction. I think it's a little bit of people can't wait to say, see, look,
Mhm.
Luka doesn't play defense. But I also think that honestly, I think there was a little bit of coaching thing because the Mavericks didn't look like they knew what they were doing all the way. It looked like Grimes is going expecting a screen. It looked like Luka expected to switch. It looked like coaches yelling at them on the sideline, telling them what to do. It looked like it looked all over the place. Now, yes, Luka still could have been in a better position in the first place, but it also looked like the Mavericks were disorganized going into the into the game when it matters. Jordan Clarkson made a great play. They probably didn't expect him to pass the ball. They probably thought he was going to take the last shot. So I think it's a little bit of overreaction, but it also Luka should still be held accountable for that. Like you still got to be aware of what's going on. I'm not gonna, yeah. So
And the crazy thing is, Luka always seems when he messes up, he be looking at other people. Like that's
mhm.
that kills me. Like the Najee Marshall stuff that was hilarious. But I honestly think, bro, like if Luka's back to 47% from the field, he's back to 38% from three, all this goes away. Everybody
Yeah,
shuts up. Like
yeah,
people couldn't wait for Luka to have an off year, and I
hmm,
agree with that. But like I've been telling you this, I'm not just saying this. I've been kind of saying slight things with the mentality thing because it's going to be a point where the little things is what is needed. Not just the
yeah,
dagger three, not just the step back, not just the
hmm,
cool pass to the corner. Like at one point, you're gonna have to box out. At one point, you're gonna have to guard your man. You're gonna have to get a key charge. You're
yeah,
gonna have to jump, get a loose spot. It's gonna have to be some of those things. And I think Tatum is the best superstar we have at that. And I think that's where we found his value last year in the playoffs because he
hmm,
wasn't shooting well, but he will still do all the other things. I think at times Luka don't do the other things, and I think he's learning. I think this is good for him. He was too good, too young. Everybody blowing smoke up his butt. So things like this is very needed. He needs fire. I like Luka getting adversity. I like him
yeah,
not getting the MVP. He needs to keep having stuff to keep him down here with the rest of us because if
hmm,
Luka would have got a championship last year, if Luka would have it's he would have came in even more out of shape. He'd be drinking more beer. This is good for Luka's development, just in an overall basketball player. I'm not worried. I'm glad you're
no,
not worried. I'm glad you
I'm
think
not
like me
worried.
when it comes to that stuff was an overreaction.
Yeah,
But it's a key moment to learn, and I just hope he learns. You know.
yeah. I think I agree with you 100%. I think, like I said, if he starts figuring things out, if he gets on a roll again, the Mavericks will go on a roll. They'll win a bunch more games. They've been in all these games already with Luka struggling a little bit, with questionable coaching things and disorganization towards the end of the game. So I'm not too worried about the Mavericks like some people are. I don't think the sky is falling or whatever. I think they just need to clean up some things. They needed to get healthy. They got their main guy back, PJ. He showed what's
I knew
up.
he was going to do it.
He showed what's up against OKC, so he was ready to go against the Thunder. 27-17. I gotta brag on my boy real quick. So
And it's crazy when you talked about PJ and how he loves to kill OKC. That's kind of
mhm.
what was going around. Like, bro, this dude be killing, and he be killing OKC, bro. He kills
Yeah,
OKC. Everybody
yeah.
has that one team they kill, and that's his team. And that's a hell of a team to kill.
Oh
Because if it's
yeah,
one team I want my role player to always kill, OKC, that's a hell of a team to kill.
yeah. So no, I'm happy with I'm not happy with how these games have been going, but I'm also not worried. I'm not panicking. Mavericks will be fine. Uh, I'm gonna need you to start apologizing for Najee Marshall and Quentin Grimes.
Najee Marshall, yeah. I can't stand Quentin Brown, bro.
Oh my
He just
gosh,
something
he's
about him. And hey, Josh Green be coming along for the Hornets as well. So
I
don't
will
do
say
that.
that. Yeah, I won't. I won't. Nah, I won't. Yeah, I'll give where I say. I said Josh Green may not be doing all that in Charlotte, but he's been doing some stuff in Charlotte. So
It just, I wish for the best, man. As
yeah.
long as we have a full complement of players, because now Maxi Kleber's back, everybody's back. Like I
Mm-hmm.
want to see it. I want to see us go on a run, bro. But I ain't
I
gonna
do.
lie. Tell the truth. When Luka is off, the Mavericks is one of the worst watches in the league, bro.
It can be
That
tough.
stuff sucks.
It can be tough to watch for sure because you got Luka, chucking up a lot of shots. It's gonna be and they're not going in. So that way then the team knows, okay, we can stick a little closer to Gafford and Lively. We don't have to step up on Luka. He can't throw the lob anymore. Um and then so Luka starts forcing things rather than, all right, let me defer to Kyrie a little bit more. When Kyrie's cooking, he cooks, and Luka does defer at times, but you can tell that there's definitely more times where Luka can defer to Kyrie, and because Kyrie's been having an amazing season to start.
Facts. And on top of that, I I don't want to see Klay Thompson lead the Mavericks in shot attempts ever. Like there's nowhere unless he's just like on fire. There's
Yeah.
nowhere where Klay Thompson is leading in shot attempts. I've seen a few box scores where he was leading in shot attempts, and I was like, that is why they kicked your ass out of Golden State. I'm sorry, but I
Yeah.
love Klay. But
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is.
Say,
Any,
man, I give Clay half the season before I really start getting too critical on him. So I mean,
okay.
just we'll see about that. But
uh, you got
let me
anything
see.
else? We done covered pretty much all of our topics. It looks like this Cowboys game is actually a game.
Interesting enough, yeah. Most exciting thing to happen in AT&T Stadium.
Lordy. Whoa, the Heat came all the way back on the 76ers. It's 91-77.
Oh man.
And
I
yeah,
think. Nah, let me think. Yeah, you got anything else? I think. Yeah, that's all. That's mostly what I had as far as, especially Mavericks struggling in crunch time and things like that. But
I did want to shout
in
out the
NBA,
Magic who have
oh
been
yeah.
on a winning streak. Like, it was very ugly without Paolo for a minute there. And
Mm-hmm.
then Franz Wagner started to pick it up. And I think this
Yes.
has only helped them in the long run. They got back to the third seed. So I love what I'm seeing from the Magic defensively. They still can cut people's water off. The Portland Trail Blazers. I said it and I keep on. Bro, Shaedon Sharpe is a real guy. He's potentially a real guy. He outdoed Ant. Then he followed that up and he outdueled Trey and the Hawks. They're on like a 3-game winning streak. Love what I'm seeing from them. They actually got some pieces. I've been
Yeah.
thinking about what core they should go with going forward. And maybe Anthony Simons is a trade piece. Send him to Orlando or something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got any thoughts on any of those things that I was just talking about? Magic or Portland?
I like the like you said, I think this is actually be really crucial for the Magic to have Franz really get his confidence going and being like know that he can still lead this team and be a key factor for them winning games even without Paolo. And them keeping themselves in the race like this on the backs of their defense and then also on the back of their young star. Um, it only proves further that the Magic will be a very scary team come playoff time.
Hmm.
And a lot of people wrote off Paolo just because of one bad playoff series.
You mean
But
Franz?
oh, my bad. Yeah, a lot of people from Paolo did not have a
Yeah,
bad.
put that on my boy. I just said
Nah.
don't do that.
But yeah, Franz. A lot of people wrote off Franz for having a bad playoff series, but
I damn near did.
yeah. But now he coming back. I think he's coming back this season with something to prove. He's gonna be letting that thing fly. We getting to the rim doing his thing. So
And I just think this makes on this damn near a blessing in disguise because they right now they up on the Suns. The Suns
mm-hmm.
gonna have their guys, but like just Franz and Jalen Suggs getting these extra minutes. I still think they need one piece. I would love if they went and got like an Anthony Simons or Zach LaVine. It's like Paolo is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Suggs is the defender, the energy and all that. Franz Wagner is the Swiss Army knife that can get you this, and that. They just need that one shooter. They can just go
Yeah.
lights out from 3 here and there. Like, even if they could get like a Tyler Hero, they just need that just one other guy that could get little buckets. And
You
this is
know,
a contender.
who's been disappointing for them? Cole Anthony. He's been disappointing. I'm sure he's been disappointing you for a long time.
Yeah.
He's been disappointing you for a long time, but really, them really needing a guy who can come off the bench and just put the ball in a basket, or just somebody a guard that can put the ball in the basket consistently for them. Cole Anthony has not been that, and that's something that they do need to address, through trade or something, like you said, Anthony Simon and Zach LaVine. Get somebody in there who can put the ball in the basket, and you just throw it to him and just say, "Hey, give me a bucket from the guard position." So you can play off of Paolo, you can play off of Franz.
Because I think
That's their main, yeah.
Because I think Jalen Suggs is probably overextending as a third option scoring wise.
Mm-hmm.
I love him
Mm-hmm.
defensively, but I think he's just overextending offensively, and that they just need that other guard that's dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
But because even KCP, I don't even want him starting no more. I don't even want to see that shit no more. No offense.
At this point, I like Anthony Black a lot. He's not going to be a scoring guard for you, but he can hit threes. He's a great defender. Do a lot of good things for you. At this point, you may lean in Anthony Black and Jalen Suggs over KCP.
The thing about Anthony Black, bro, is it kind of redundant what he does for them? Like, don't they already have a little bit of what he does on the roster?
Yes, but he's a big guard.
But
But
it's
yeah,
like, okay,
they have a lot of that though. I mean, he's a great defender, but yes, it is a tad redundant.
I
Never
wouldn't
turn
mind
on.
for the right person, Anthony Black. I'll get rid of you for the right scoring splashy guard.
For the
Like
right
you wouldn't
guy,
trade.
yeah.
Would you trade Anthony Black and whatever else for Tyler Hero or Anthony Simons? Probably not for the Anthony Simons, but for like a Tyler Hero. Just imagine Tyler Hero, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo, Wendell Carter.
That's not bad. I mean, yeah. Would I do it? Maybe it's because I like Anthony Black.
I love Anthony Black, but don't you want to see him go somewhere where he's literally like in Josh Giddey with Chicago, where I can kind of play my style. I have Zach
Yeah.
LaVine, who I want to feed. I have Kobe White, who I want to feed. Vucevic. I can just play, mate. Don't you
Mm-hmm.
want him to get his Dyson Daniels situation to where now
Yeah.
I'm just in a more comfortable situation for me?
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
What about Colin
Yeah.
Sexton?
Mm. Colin
Huh?
Sexton doesn't move me as much.
Hates Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton is really good. Everybody hates Colin Sexton for some reason.
He's cool. I don't know. He don't move me as much. I'd even go on a cheap and get Jordan Clarkson off the bench. Get him.
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole, cool, but I don't know if they can get him. I would do it. I
Man,
wanted
the
them to get it.
Wizards wouldn't give a damn. I honestly don't think they would give a damn, bro.
Mm.
But would Jordan Poole even fit in? Do you think that would be like would you get rid of Anthony Black for Jordan Poole?
I would do it. I know he has a way bigger contract, but I think I'd still do it because Poole's a little more dynamic. He's actually not having he's been having a little bit of a resurgence over there this season. So,
Oh, I'm kicking KCP ass off the team too. By
oh
bringing
yeah,
in Jordan Poole, I'm kicking off KCP ass too.
like why do we need KCP when we have Jalen Suggs who can slide over and be a great defender and hit threes?
Exactly.
Tristan Da Silva, he'll become a guy who could do these kind of things. Jet
Exactly.
Howard, he'll become a guy who can do these kind of things. Like
Exactly.
we don't
Because I love
need.
Anthony Black, but he might be that one trade chip that can get you over the hump, and that's a good problem to have. That's really all I'm saying.
No, yeah, I'm down. I agree. Orlando
Anything else?
needs to do something so they can capitalize on this
Yes.
great team and great young roster that they have.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
we all know y'all need a guard. Let me real quick before we get off. Let me see where they are in terms of just scoring again, because they was one of the bottom scoring teams last year, and I still
Mm-hmm.
think it's the same this year. They can't play no damn offense. So let me make sure. Before I get to saying it, because I already think it. Yep,
Especially with Carlisle, yeah.
20 points per game.
Defense only gets you so far. I mean, defense is a lot, but defense only will get you so far.
Look, they're number one in opponents' points per game allowed. They allow 102 points a game, but they only score 107. If you can literally get like another 8, 9, 10 points to your points per game, they damn near
Mm-hmm.
in the finals, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we can call it wraps. Anything else you want to say? I see how you didn't say anything about my boy Shaedon Sharpe, but it's cool.
Man, I'll focus on Franz first, but I will give you your props. He is
I'm just
nice.
saying.
He's nice. He can definitely be a player for the Trailblazers. I may have wrote him off a little bit because of injuries, and I doubted him some. I didn't think he could shoot as well as he has been shooting. I just thought he was an athletic B version Ja Morant, whatever. He's proving me wrong. You said he's more athletic than Ja Morant. I don't know if I can get behind that just yet, but he's moving my way towards there. So I will give you your props for now, at least. Shaedon Sharpe is a guy who should be untouchable for the Trailblazers right now. He's someone you should start building around. They have a lot to do over there in Portland, in my opinion, but he's a good start.
Okay. Thanks. That's all. But yeah, this has been Dino's Ball featuring Chris in our weekly NBA segment, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, man.
Yep.
We out.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can live comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I will never quit.